Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Thursday, December the 6th. We just have a 3-game slate for Thursday, but there's still money out there to win, so I'm going to do like I always do and just go through each position, talk about some of my favorite plays on this 3-game slate, the studs I like, mid-tier plays, value plays, try and hit on all of the tiers. Of course, I'll give my core 5 plays, 5 guys I expect to have a decent amount of exposure to by the time lineups lock on Thursday. Before we do get started though, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. It does mean a lot. If you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at point guard on this 3-game slate. So Harden and Dame, 2 most expensive options at this position. Harden's 10-8, getting a matchup against the Jazz. Damian Lillard 10-1, facing the Suns. Obviously, it is not a good matchup for Harden, but on a short slate, a 3-game slate, raw points really matter. Just getting a high amount of points from a guy like Harden is really all that matters. You don't need him to go off for 70. Like on a short slate, just getting 50 from Harden could be good enough. So I think you want to try and find a way to fit him in. I think there is value to fit Harden in, so I'm going to be plugging him in at point guard. It's just really hard to not play Harden on a 3-game slate, just because there aren't a lot of studs to pay it for. Like Dame at 10-1. I doubt I'd go to against Phoenix, even though I like the spot. I just rather would get up to Harden. Harden just projects better, even in a worse matchup. But like I said, there's a lot of value, so it's pretty easy to fit Harden in. Might as well just plug in his 45 to 50 points that we know he's going to get us. And obviously Harden has potential for 70, 80 points, even if it's a tough matchup against the Jazz. We could still get a monster game out of Harden. 10,800 is actually a pretty nice price for him. Usually not not a price we rarely pay for Harden. He's usually always over 11K. So 10-8, decent price tag. Definitely like him today. It's pretty easy to fit him in. So I'll be playing Harden in a lot of lineups. Won't be paying up for Dame much. Won't really be paying up for Kyrie either. Like CP3, McCollum, Donovan Mitchell, I don't expect to go to the mid-range. I think at point guard today, I'm either paying up at the top for Harden. I do like some value here though. So EMMANUEL MUDIAY, 5,700, I like as a value play. I do not like the price tag. But like I said, it's a short 3-game slate. Our options are limited. So I think we play MUDIAY today. At least I'm going to be playing him. He played 36 minutes last game against the Wizards with Trey Burke out. Trey Burke's going to be out for this game. So I'd expect MUDIAY plays 33 to 34 minutes again. Could potentially play more if he's playing really well. And he didn't have a great game all around. Just shot 40% from the field. Had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block. 29 DraftKings points out of MUDIAY. I would say that was a bad game from him. And we still got 29 DK points out of MUDIAY. Obviously, this is not a good matchup against the Celtics. They have really good defenders, but like I said, short 3-game slate, not a lot of options. I like MUDIAY today at 5,700. Is this a guy that I think can definitely get us 25 to 30 and has upside for 40 to 45 if the Knicks can keep this game close. But the last 2 guys I want to mention as value plays at point guard. So DeAnthony Melton at 4,200. Played really well in the Suns' last game. He was one of the few players that actually did well for the Suns. The Suns got beat down by the Kings, lost by 17 points. Honestly, it should have been a lot worse than that. But DeAnthony Melton played 23 minutes, had 34 DraftKings points. The Suns have not ruled out that he could potentially start on Thursday over OKOBO, which I think is definitely possible. And I do really like DeAnthony Melton at 4,200 as a value play. Have a feeling he's going to be a core value play for me on this slate. I think a lot of people are going to go back to OKOBO at 4K, especially if he starts again, which he could obviously start again. He's probably going to play 27 to 30 minutes if he starts. But DeAnthony Melton just played really well, played a lot better than OKOBO. He's a lot more of an efficient player, a better fantasy point per minute player. OKOBO played 26 minutes in a great matchup against the Kings and only put up 12 DraftKings points. DeAnthony Melton, even if he comes off the bench, I think I prefer him over OKOBO today. And if DeAnthony Melton starts, obviously that's going to drive up his ownership, but obviously you just feel safer about Melton if he's in the starting lineup. So I love him either way, 4,200. I'll have a lot more exposure to him than I do to OKOBO. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard now. So this is kind of the same position as point guard. If I'm paying up for Harden, I'll be paying up for Harden here if I play him here. If not, you can play Melton at shooting guard, who I like as a value. There aren't really a ton of other values I like besides Melton. Maybe MIKAL Bridges, 4,100. He did see nice minutes last game against the Kings. 34 minutes, 25 DraftKings points. I project Bridges probably about the same amount of minutes. He's going to start again. He's probably going to play 32 to 34 minutes. I pray to God the Suns can keep this game close. This game right now does have a 14-point spread, which is pretty concerning, but on a 3-game slate, not a lot of options. I think you just play these Suns guys. Just hope the game stays close. I guess you could fade them, but don't really know where you're going to go to if you fade the Suns value plays. Like, if you fade the value, I guess you could play like a lot of mid-tier guys. Like, you could load up on like Chris Paul and Mitchell and Nurkic and KANTER, but I think the way to go today is probably to play some of these Sun value plays. Jam in HARDEN, pencil him, or lock in his 45 to 50 points that you know he's going to give you, and then kind of work from there. So at shooting guard value, you can play MIKAL Bridges, 4,100. You can also play him at small forward, which makes him a lot more interesting on DraftKings. But that's probably it for shooting guard for me today. Like Tim Hardaway, Gordon Hayward, Joe Ingles, don't expect to be going to these guys a ton. Not really going to be core plays for me. So let's go ahead and move on to small forward. Not the best position at the top, like Tatum, Hardaway, Gordon Hayward. I don't see myself really going to. I know Gordon Hayward's had some good games recently. He's been seeing decent minutes. He saw 30 minutes in his last game against the Timberwolves. That was sort of like Gordon Hayward's kind of breakout game, his best game of the year. Nearly had a triple-double, had 39 and 8. I'd expect Hayward probably plays close to 30 minutes off the bench. I would imagine he plays off the bench. I think Brown's going to be back in the starting lineup. So maybe Hayward doesn't get to 30 minutes, maybe only plays like 26, 27. Up to 6,100 in price. Probably going to be a guy I avoid. I'd much rather go down to like Trevor Ariza at 5,600 or Josh Jackson. I'm going right back to the well on Josh Jackson, 5,400. He didn't do that great last game. Well, honestly, he didn't even do that bad for his price. He was 5,300. He put up 22 DraftKings points. He played terribly and still put up 22 DK points. He played 27 minutes in a blowout. Obviously, this game against the Trailblazers could be over by the second quarter, but if the Suns can somehow keep this game close, I would imagine it's probably going to be because Josh Jackson, Ariza, Ayton, these guys are playing really well. So I do like playing some Portland guys if you're going to play guys from the Suns, because obviously you're banking on the game the game staying close if you play guys from the Suns. So Josh Jackson did not see a price increase, still 5,400. Still going to play a ton of minutes if the game's competitive, going to have a lot of usage. Just hard not to play him today, even in a somewhat tough matchup against the Trailblazers. And in a game that could blow out, I'll still be going back to these Suns guys where they're still too cheap, in my opinion, on DraftKings. But he's my favorite small forward value play. It's really not even close. He's probably going to be the guy that I play the most at this position. If I need to play MIKAL Bridges, I can. You can play him at small forward for 4,100, and I do like him as a value. But small forward for me today, really all about Josh Jackson, maybe some Trevor Ariza, maybe some MIKAL Bridges, but mostly Josh Jackson. So let's move on to power forward now. So power forward's not the greatest. I don't really want to pay up for Tatum today. I don't want to pay 7,100 for Tatum. 6,200 for Al Horford, I guess you could go there, but probably see myself playing a lot of Trevor Ariza here, since you can play him at power forward. Josh Jackson has power forward eligibility, so you can play Josh Jackson at power forward. I do like Noah Vonleh at 5,100. He's been seeing good minutes lately, over 30 minutes in 2 straight games, 35 minutes against the Bucks, 31 minutes against Washington. His production's not been great, just 25 and 23 DraftKings points. But still, if we're going to get Noah Vonleh at 5,100 playing 30-plus minutes, even in a bad matchup against the Celtics, I don't mind going to Noah Vonleh today. It's just a gross position. He's done well against the Celtics so far this year for what it's worth. He's had 2 really good games against them. He's averaged 34 DraftKings points in 2 games against the Celtics, so take that for what it's worth. But power forward, gross position, probably going to be playing a lot of Ariza and Vonleh here. Like I said, 3-game slate, limited options, just kind of take what we get for today. So let's move on to center now and quickly talk about center. So at the top, this is actually probably the best position on the slate. Maybe point guard's a little bit better, but center does have some good plays at the top. You got Gobert, Clint Capella, Nurkic, KANTER, DeAndre Ayton. All guys that I think are in decent spots. All guys I would probably pay up for if I can find a way to fit them in. I love Nurkic at 7,300. He's definitely my favorite center play. Just love the matchup for him. Taking bigs against the Suns, something I've been doing a lot this year. Not going to stop here. I expect Nurkic to dominate in this matchup. If the game stays competitive and we get full minutes out of Nurkic, I don't see how he doesn't put up at least 35 to 40 DraftKings points. You could potentially play both centers if you want to. DeAndre Ayton is still really cheap. He's only 6,700. I see him having to do so much. Without Warren, without Booker, DeAndre Ayton's going to have to be on the court, going to have to just score, grab rebounds. And although he only played 21 minutes in that last game against the Kings, and he didn't look that great. I don't mind going back to DeAndre Ayton today at 6,700. Probably would honestly feel safer going to Kanter. Kanter's 6,800, and Kanter, now that he's getting consistent minutes, is just a guy that you can play on a nightly basis. Even though the minutes, I say consistent minutes, even though the minutes haven't been like crazy high, just 25, 27, 26 minutes last 3 games, Kanter's still just such a good point per minute producer. Only played 25 minutes against the Wizards, but still put up 38 DraftKings points. If he plays mid-20s in minutes, he's going to get you a double-double most likely, and we know Kanter has that massive upside to where he could totally crush value on this price tag. So honestly, think I would play Kanter over Ayton, but I'm sure I'll have some lineups where I have both of them. But by far my favorite center play at this position is Yusuf Nurkic, 7,300. Just love the matchup for him. With him being similarly priced to Capella and similarly priced to Gobert, I don't expect him to carry a ton of ownership today. Gobert and Capella you can obviously pay up for. If I had to choose one, I think I'd go with Capella. Capella's just been playing great this year. Just looks so good. The Jazz defensively against centers have not been as good this year as they have in the past. Gobert has kind of struggled defensively, hasn't been the stifle tower that we've seen in the past. So I do like paying up for Capella 8K. Guy gives you a solid floor every night. He does have a high ceiling. I like him at 8K. Think I'd take the savings and go down to Nurkic, but if you want to go full stars and scrubs and just play a lot of value plays, try and jam in like Harden and Capella, I could see doing that today. But don't see myself going anywhere else at center besides like the top 5 guys. Maybe Noah Vonleh if I need to play him here, but like Derek Favors, Al Horford, Rashawn Holmes, just don't see myself going to these guys today. Just going to try and find a way to fit in some of the top guys at center. So I think that's it for center, guys, and I think that's it for the video. This was a pretty quick video. It's just a 3-game slate. There really isn't a ton to talk about. But hopefully you guys still did enjoy the video. Hopefully it helped you. If you enjoyed the video, just make sure you drop a like. I would appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. If you do have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, or you can leave any comments down below in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, good luck tonight on this 3-game slate. We'll see you back again for Friday's video. Peace.